What's up, guys? Welcome back to Crypto Weekly Review. In this video, we're going to take a look at some charts. How low can these dips go? And we kind of called them here. Also, we're going to talk about Fed Chair Powell being renominated and the lunatic, the CBDC lunatic Brainerd is vice chair now. What does that mean for crypto? We'll also be talking about the El Salvadorian Bitcoin bond. And let's not waste any more time. Let's jump straight into it.
You big old sus, yeah. I just doubled up on crypto. I just doubled down on the new vest. Now my chair looking like 2 checks. Type of money made me want a 2-step. Who next? This week I be on the moon next. Stock going up like 2x. That's a fast flip like suplex. 2 really stepping like a duplex. You bet never lose change, but I do flex on it.
Bitcoin on the daily chart. Remember, in the last video, we wanted to get up and above this white line, which is the daily uptrend, and it didn't make it. In fact, it is rejecting the 55 exponential moving average at this point, and this pump that we had on the weekend definitely looks like a bear flag on low volume. And it would be nice if we could actually pump and at least test this area right here, confirm a daily downtrend and down. That would be nice because this right here is the point of control. This means that a lot of people have a lot of interest in this area. A lot of Bitcoin and USD was traded in this area, but right now it's looking very, very weak. And if you look at the weekly chart right here, you can see that we have not made a lower low yet, but we could dump all the way down to 52,000 and still hold that weekly uptrend. But if you zoom out, you can see this horrible bearish divergence on the weekly chart, and I mean it is bad. It's crazy because remember, I did sell in this area right here and bought an R8, and now I have a bunch of USDC, so I'm kind of cozy to buy the dip. But I also have a hodl position that I will never touch, so I really can't lose, and that is correct portfolio management. HEX on the daily chart, if you've been around on this channel, you know that we sold at 45 cents and we've called every major bounce except for the God whale pump, and that is invalidated. Right now it's underneath this pivot. It gave it all back as of right now. In fact, there's a baby death cross looming overhead on HEX. As you can see, this yellow 200 exponential moving average, it is rejecting that, also rejecting this pivot, and this white line is actually going to cross, making a baby death cross. But the big death cross is this purple line right here. When that crosses the 200 exponential moving average, that signals a long-term downtrend. Looks like the daily point of control is right around here at about 4 or 5 cents. I'm expecting a major bounce right here and a nice bounce at about 13 cents. Look how many times we rejected the 200. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times we rejected the 200 exponential moving average. Now we are below this Fibonacci pivot, and the next stop is at about 13 cents, but we've already been in that area, so I'm expecting a weak bounce, maybe a rejection off of this, and down we go. And how low can we go? About 3-5 cents. I think there's going to be a major bounce there, and maybe could be the bottom. As you can see, there is a point of control interest right here at about 5 cents. That's where the most HEX that has ever been traded was traded in this time range. As you can see, the RSI is confluent. There are no divergences here. The weekly chart is very interesting on HEX. As you can see, we did get a bounce right here at the 50-period moving average, but we rejected the 21 exponential moving average twice on the weekly chart. We are in a weekly downtrend. This chart is very telling. The point of control is at 5 cents, and we are so up and above the Fibonacci pivots that it is scary. I think we're going lower. Before we move on to ETH, I want to talk about this Hexakin. I think he was like the number 18th holder. He gave away his keys in the chat, and now the hacker is dumping all of his stakes, and he's got about 18 million in HEX right now that he's going to dump on your head. And I just want to say that is a flaw in the HEX program, is that this set it and forget it theory. And just because you're an OG and just because you got in early doesn't mean you know a damn thing. This guy gave his keys away. In crypto, you have to be sharp. You have to learn how to trade. You have to keep your ear on the streets. You got to do crypto. You got to be on the front line, because there's a lot of people who are lean, smart, and mean, and they're going to try to take your money, whether it be through dumping the price, moving the markets, or socially engineered hacking you into a chat. You got to stay sharp. You can't just be fat and lazy, put on a stake, and think you're going to be rich. No. It's a dog-eat-dog world out here. ETHUSD is actually a lot stronger than Bitcoin. It did reject the 21 exponential moving average twice over the weekend, but on low volume. I think Ethereum is going to come down and test 3906 quite soon. I think Ethereum is going to come down here at about 3,300. Sand is still chopping around up here. I wouldn't touch it if you're really bullish and you want to get in. $3.10. Mana also doing the same thing. It's still in space. ADA below the 200 exponential moving average looks terrible. BNB also below the 21. Everything looks confluent. Everything looks down. All right, guys, let's jump straight into the news. And this is the most important news of the week. Biden renominates Powell as Fed chair with Brainerd as vice chair. All right. Why is this important? Because Brainerd can't wrap her head around not having a U.S. central bank digital currency. And if we have that, why is that bad? Let's talk about a CBDC, a cashless society. What happens when you can't take your money out of the bank? You got it. Negative interest rates. Yes, they can put negative interest rates on your money. So as long as you're holding it and you're not spending it and stimulating the economy, you're going to be paying their tax so they can pay for their pet projects. And how will they be able to pull this off? Oh yeah, the coup, climate change, and whatever crisis that they want to cook up. This is what their plan is. This is what they want to do. Now she is the vice chair. And why isn't she the main chairman? It's because they know that they couldn't get her past the House Republicans and the Senate Republicans. And they already know that Fed Powell is very, very dovish. He is tapering, quantitative easing the amount of money that they are printing into the economy, but he is going to play ball with the Biden administration. He's very, very dovish, and he will continue the 0% interest rates that Biden wants. Fed Powell is down for the money printing scam to continue. I think inflation is going to continue to go up, which will cause most asset prices to go up. It will inflate with it. It's called a crack up boom economy. Yes, that means we are crashing up. So typically a traditional crash would be deflationary, meaning stock values go down. What happens when people sell stocks? They buy dollars. The dollar gets stronger. You can't have a dollar crash and a market crash at the same time. So this is the reverse of that. This is a crash up. That means we're crashing in reverse. So everything is getting inflated and the value of the dollar is going down, which makes Bitcoin go up in the long term. But that doesn't mean Bitcoin cannot have crashes. But if Biden did nominate Brainerd and she did get confirmed as Fed chair, I think Bitcoin would go to the moon a lot sooner, a lot faster, because she would shake things completely upside down and on their head. So remember, we can crash up. It's called a hyperinflationary depression. Make no mistake, this Brainerd pick for vice chair is a huge pound of flesh to the globalists, and it's 1 inch, one step closer to monetary oppression. El Salvador government strikes a deal with Bitfinex Blockstream to issue a $1 billion Bitcoin bond. El Salvador has struck a deal with the crypto firms Blockstream and Ifinex to advance its efforts in the Bitcoin market. The country is set to issue a so-called Bitcoin bond to accelerate hyper-Bitcoinization and bring about a new financial system on top of Bitcoin, according to Blockstream. This bond offering is something we think will be attractive to a wide range of investors, ranging from cryptocurrency investors, investors seeking yield, hodlers, and ordinary people. Finex is focusing on helping the government write a digital tokenized securities law and new regulatory framework, as the El Salvadorian government is embracing Bitcoin, and they're going to have a bond. You can earn yield. This is absolutely amazing and revolutionary. They are setting up a mining farm at the base of a volcano to get green Bitcoins. This is all amazing. They said that they're going to build a Bitcoin city. And I don't know, guys, if you're big holders and big traders, El Salvador might be an option. Now, the problem is, El Salvador has a reputation of being dangerous, but so does Chicago. Are you going to walk through the cities of Detroit? The only difference is, I don't know if I'm going to be ripping around the streets in El Salvador in my R8. So it's definitely going to be a different lifestyle, but it's by the sea. Maybe El Salvador is starting to look like a good place to go. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. Would you move out there and be part of this crazy revolution, like Summer of Love, Bitcoin style 2022? It sure sounds a lot better than the crazy stuff that's going on in the rest of the world right now. Before we get out of here, let's take a look at the charts really quick. Maybe Bitcoin on the 4 hour. As you can see, we are confirming a 4 hour downtrend right here. I think the next stop on the 4 hour chart is 53,000. That's also a weekly support, remember. Let's take a look at HEX. HEX is looking like a lot of red. We'll just take a peek on the 4 hour chart. 4 hour downtrend confirmed. Down, down, down we go. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you watching. Please consider throwing me a like and a sub, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.